Mal, soon a 74-year-old widow, lives with her son and his family. Foul-mouthed, stubborn, controlling, and shameless, she has a difficult relationship with her depressed daughter-in-law, Ya, but is very proud of her son, Hyun Chul, who became a university professor of gerontology and whom she raised by herself against all odds. She's become the sort of person who is always telling other people to do things and tends to get into arguments with everyone. The good news for her daughter-in-law, Ya, is that she is not home the whole day because she works at a cafe with her childhood friend, Mr. Park. There's a woman named Oak. Jay and Mal soon always calls her a vixen. They always tend to get into arguments, and, well, how could today be an exception? Okay, Ja goes on to make fun of Mal soon and flirts with Mr. Park. Mal soon seems to have had enough of her as she goes on to get physical with her. She grabs her from her hair in order to teach her a lesson in another language. Mr. Park tries to put an end to the fight by coming between them and ends up being the victim as he gets hurt. When he goes home later that evening, his daughter named Young gives him a piece of her mind for always defending Mal soon and ends up getting hurt. Speak of the devil, Mal soon appears over there, and she now goes on to scold Young for speaking to her own father in that manner. Young, in return, asks Mal soon to apologize to Mr. Park for injuring him, but she refuses. Before she leaves, she drops a bag of peaches for Mr. Park, who goes on to follow her on his bike and gives her a ride. Young, however, is shocked when she sees that Mal soon has brought his father peaches, despite the fact that he is allergic to them. On the other hand, at a local TV studio, music producer Seung Woo is annoyed at the day's auditions. He is frustrated because all the new bands are focusing more on their looks than their singing. He does not see them singing from their souls. One of his colleagues goes on to point out that they should hire old people to sing because, unlike the young singers, they can sing from their souls. She suggests they find some ghost singers and let the new kids do the lip syncing. The next morning, we see Mal soon scolding Ja for cooking wrong, while tries to sneak out of the house with his guitar to go to an audition but is caught by both women. Ja asks him to get rid of his guitar and focus on studying because that is his future. But his grandmother, Mal, soon gives the boy some money and asks him to pursue his dreams. When the boy leaves, the two women again start to argue as Ja tells Mal soon that she should stay out of it when the matter is between her and her kids. Mal, soon in turn, tells her that she should not be so depressed, given the fact that her husband has a good job and she just stays at home. She then compares her situation to herself when she was of her age, as she goes on to tell Ja that life is much easier for her compared to him because she had to raise her son all alone. Ha went on to audition, but it doesn't go well because the lead singer is unable to perform her best as she spent the whole night clubbing and smoking. Ha confronts her for not taking it seriously, but she tells him that she quits. When Mal soon goes home after work that day, she finds Ja passed out on the floor. She is rushed to the hospital, and the doctor tells them that she needs to stay in an environment where she does not feel stressed. The doctors, in fact, strongly advise her to live apart from Mal soon. As they get home, Mal soon's son discusses sending his mother to a retirement home. His daughter right away agrees, but Ha, who is very close to his grandmother, does not agree. Mal soon eavesdrops on the conversation and gets hurt, but she says that she is willing to go. Hyun Chul promises his mother that he is going to take her home as soon as his wife gets better. Mal soon pretends that she is fine, but she is, in fact, very deeply hurt. She is not herself at the cafe and starts to stay quiet most of the time. One day, an angry woman comes to the cafe, and it turns out that her family lost their restaurant after they helped Mal soon when she was alone and in need. She, however, repaid them by stealing the recipe and opening her own cafe. Mal soon is in no mood to talk about this, but the woman, on the other hand, has been looking for her for many years, and she does not want to let it go that easy. She grabs Mal soon and attacks her. Mal soon does not even defend herself, and Mr. Park is again the savior. As Mr. Park pulls them apart, Mal soon explains that she did what she had to do to give her son a good life. She had no other choice. That night, while Mal soon sits on the road waiting for the bus, she cries when she receives a call from her grandson, Ha! He asks her if she can take him and his band out for dinner. Mal soon says yes, and they decide on a location to meet. Before she goes there, Mal soon stops by a photo that has a portrait of Audrey Hepburn on its window. She goes inside thinking of taking a nice picture for her future altar. The man in the studio tells her that he is going to make her look 50 years younger. After getting done at the studio, she takes a bus, and on that bus she is hit on by some young men. Mal soon is confused because she is an old woman and the boys are still hitting on her until she sees her reflection reflection and gets shocked to see that she is back in the body of her 20-year-old self. She goes to a pharmacy to get some medicine. She remembers that she has to meet her grandson for dinner. She quickly gets to the station, but when she gets there, she does not find the courage to approach them with her younger self. Mal soon ignores G. Haas calls and goes back to the studio, but she does not even see the studio there. Instead, she finds a restaurant at that place, and the woman there further adds that she has it for 10 years. That night, Mal soon does not go back home, and her whole family is worried about her. She spends the night at the community center, and when she wakes up, she feels young. She then decides that she's gonna stay that way. She goes shopping to get new clothes and gets a haircut just like Audrey Hepburn. She then goes to Mr. Park's house and asks about the room they are offering for rent. She tells them that her name is Ree. That night, she goes to her house and leaves a note at the door in order to let them know that she is okay. As the suspicious girl of the Korean title, all anyone sees is that Ree speaks with a regional accent and walks like an old lady, and that she acts very strangely and motherly for her age. After wowing a group of pensioners with a stirring karaoke tune one day, she attracts the notice of her unknowing grandson, Ji Ha, his 4th year in university, and Han Seong Woo, a TV music producer who has been looking for talent in the area. He said that he needed someone who could sing from their soul, and this is exactly what Mal soon does. After her song is over, she receives a warm standing ovation from the crowd, but Mal soon gets out of there, worried that her grandson might recognize her. Seong runs after her, but she is nowhere to be found. That night, Ha comes to Mr. Park's house, and Mal soon is also there. He likes what he sees and goes on to ask out Mal soon for a drink, and she says yes. Ha then asks Mal soon to be the new vocalist for his band. Mal soon always wanted her grandson happy, so she accepts the offer. The next morning, Mal soon goes to see Ha and their band. When she gets there, she is bewildered to see their actions, their metal equipment, and especially their looks. She goes on to lecture them right away, telling them that what they are doing is all noise, not music. They do not like her and her ideas at first, but when she gives them a flying kiss, well, that's enough for the horny teenagers. They then go to play in the park, and people love them so much that their jar is full of money in no time. After a few days, they get to perform at a bar where they wear normal cute clothes, and people love them. They turn out to be successful there as well. One night, Seong sees Mal soon and goes on to follow her. Mal soon, however, confronts him, thinking that he is a stalker. Seong tells her the whole thing, but she is not interested. And as she walks away, Seong grabs her by the shoulder and turns her around as he still wants to talk to her. This accidentally lowers her blouse, and Mal soon hands Seong to the police, accusing him of harassing her. The next day, Mal soon goes to lunch with her family because Ji Ha has invited her over for lunch. Ja is now much better and welcomes her, but Ha Na is really rude to her. As they wait for the lunch to get ready, she asks Ji Ha to give her a tour of the house and ends up visiting her own room as well. She pretends to be a stranger to everything at first, but when Ja calls Ji Ha for help, she takes advantage of the opportunity and goes on to look for her stamp. She needs it because her family has blocked her debit card. On the other hand, Hyun, Chul, and Mr. Park are at the police station looking at the CCTV footage outside an ATM where a woman is seen using Mal Soon's debit card to get money from the ATM. The woman's face, however, cannot be seen because she is holding a purple umbrella. They go on to conclude that Mal Soon has been kidnapped. Mr. Park, on the other hand, is awfully quiet because he's recognized the umbrella. When they're having lunch with Mal Soon, Hyun Chul returns home, and Mal Soon, according to her previous habits, welcomes him, and everyone finds it extremely weird. In order to cover her stupid mistake, she pretends to go to the bathroom, and from there she sees her son's sad face and understands his emotional state as he refuses to eat. Mr. Park, on the other hand, is extremely curious now as he starts watching Mal Soon closely and tries to confirm if that umbrella is the same as he saw on the security cameras. After Mal Soon leaves that day, he goes to her room and starts searching her stuff. He finds her old shoes and dentures. Jung continues to turn down people who come to audition, and then Mal Soon, along with her band, shows up to audition. He, without wasting further time, goes on to offer them a deal, which the band accepts. That night, when Mal Soon gets back, she finds the bag with her dentures hanging on the clothesline. Mr. Park, who has been waiting for her, sneaks in on her, trying to take her down, but Mal Soon is not that easy as she overpowers him and goes on to tie him up. He, however, is not scared of her and goes on to tell her that he thinks she has killed Mal Soon and asks her to kill him as well because he cannot live without Mal Soon. We then see a flashback. When he was 13 and his parents passed away, there was no one to take care of him, and he was then taken in by Mal Soon's family. It was Mal Soon's beautiful smile that would always make him stay strong. As Mal soon hears Mr. Park confessing that he cannot live without her, she then goes on to ask him why he doesn't recognize her and gives him a smile just like in the old times. After watching her for a while, Mr. Park realizes that the woman in front of him is actually Mal. Soon, Mr. Park then tells her family that he has met her and she is fine, so they can stop worrying about her. Okay, Ja, on the other hand, tells his daughter that her father is dating a woman much younger than him. Mal soon then performs on TV with her band, and everyone loves them. That night, Mal, Soon, and Park's daughter get into a fight, and Mal soon ends up leaving the house. The next day, Mr. Park goes to see Hyun Chul and tells him the truth, who does not believe him. Mal, Soon, on the other hand, goes to Seung's apartment where he tries to flirt with her. Mal soon meets Mr. Park after a few days, who has been worried about her. On the other hand, Hyun Chul goes through some old pictures and realizes how similar the woman in the band looks to her mother in those old pictures. They are booked for an extravaganza at the studio, and Ji Ha is late due to a traffic jam. He decides to leave the taxi and bike, but is hit by a lorry on the way there. He is in critical condition at the hospital, but Ree decides to go on stage to tell him that his song was a success afterward. As she arrives at the hospital, it is found that only she has the correct blood type for a transfusion. She does the transfusion, knowing that it would return her back to her aged condition. Ji Ha's band takes off with the sister as the lead singer and Ree as a fan. Mr. Park finds the same photo studio and becomes young and really handsome. He picks her up at a bus stop and they ride off bickering good-naturedly as they always do. This is where the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.
What I want, I'll keep dreaming.